20%, if you can believe it, and over the last 13 trading days, only one down day. Look at that. It's really pretty incredible. 71%. The bulls clearly in charge, storming into Bitcoin, Facebook's new cryptocurrency Libra, giving the space a little bit of validation, and everybody having that FOMO, or at least some traders, investors having FOMO, driving Bitcoin higher out of a bear market. In fact, Bitcoin over the last decade or so has really seen a few cycles. Let's take a look at this longer term chart in the Bloomberg. This is Bitcoin spot. Actually, this is not Bitcoin spot, but this is the Bitcoin futures chart that we're going to take a look at with Mike McGlone. And Mike, I'd like to bring you in here, and I'm just going to kind of cross over to meet you. And you're making the point here that this is a bottom of sorts for Bitcoin.
I am. What you see here is a breakthrough through significant resistance. The market went through that level like a hot knife through butter. It's very rare. When I see that, I think, oh, this is a signal. What this is a price, the bear market and the major distribution here. It started with futures launch, distribution here, all built around 6,500. When Bitcoin broke through that, it basically says to me, it's going to make new highs. And so it should go above 20,000, but the key thing is, where's your definition of risk? And it could get all the way back down to 6,500. That's why I see Bitcoin's different. It has a high volatility, so I look at it as it's an indication it's going higher. Definition of risk is down here. You're supposed to be buying into the dip and expect it to go up, but you don't want it to sustain back below that 6,500 level. Okay,
and the chart that we were going to take a look at would show the cycles that this has happened before, which is not true for all marketplaces, yes. But in the case of Bitcoin, it has shown that once you come out of that area of distribution for Bitcoin, that it really does mean that we're going to see a new high. Do you think we could see some consolidation, though? Because I was making the point, yes. The laws of physics. Take a look at that one candle there. This is what, a yes. weekly chart. So this weekly candle, the laws of physics, a parabolic uptrend, 90 degrees, cannot hold. You could make the case that the whole thing could reverse. So what if that were to happen, if it were to go back below $10,000 per Bitcoin? How do you advise?
The key risk, I think, is getting back below 6,500.
Okay, so
that's the problem. But it's Bitcoin, volatility, and you're yes. supposed to expect that. The thing to remember here is this was supposed to be resistance. The last time on your other chart, which we can maybe show another time, it held resistance for about 6 months. I expected that, but when it goes through like this, you have to readjust and say, uh-oh, it's telling me something, and it is. And then we had this little consolidation above. It's telling you something that's going higher. And I just looked for the first target, last year's highs, which happened to be right when futures were launched.
Got it. And you made a great point for investors and traders around Bitcoin, that it's not like gold, and the fact that you only want to invest what you can afford to lose. Is that what you were saying?
I think that's
because of the volatility.
Exactly, and expect that. And I know, I know that's a far way to look to dip, but it could happen. Look, that's gap, that's parabolic. We know that's kind of a frenzy.
Yep.
But we know that what Bitcoin does, it goes up a lot easier and it goes down.
Great points. Well, let's now take a look at the futures here. If we go into the Bloomberg and we look at the contract table, and here we are taking a look at it, and there we go, the description page here on the Bitcoin futures.
Yes, I think the key thing to think about when you look at Bitcoin futures, for every one future, you control 5 Bitcoins, and then there's margin. That's the ideal thing about margin. So, Eric, if you can show down here, one speculator costs $23,000. So basically, with per margin, it costs you 2 Bitcoin to control 5. So that's, that's a volatile position, but that's one of the benefits of futures. You get that margin. One thing I think that's really happening is futures open interest is increasing rapidly, which means institutions are getting into space. And they're not buying the altcoins. They're going for Bitcoin.
And they like the futures because of the regulation and the transparency.